Hope you are all doing good, right? Okay, we'll start the session. Let them join, those who are coming late. So, very good morning to one and all here. Today I'm going to complete this module 1. So, I have uploaded the notes in the MS Teams, that is in the class materials. So, the PPT what I have prepared. So kindly go through that on Tuesday, on Wednesday, that is on coming Wednesday, we are going to solve some problems on that is at maximum flow, and that is the fundamentals of traffic flow. We are going to solve some problems, and the other problems are vehicle characteristics, that is vehicle performance characteristics problems we are going to solve. Only two problems on each we are going to solve on Wednesday. So before that, go through the class material. Okay, there is one folder called class materials in MS Teams. So get into that folder and get the notes, or you can download the notes, that is the PPT what I have prepared. So remember, whatever the PPT I am going to prepare, it will be the notes for you. Whatever I am going to give the notes, that is the PPT, it is enough for exam. Okay, if you write whatever I have tried to complete all the concepts within this PPTs only. Okay, so in the last class we have discussed about this urban traffic problems and remedial measures to reduce these traffic problems. Today we are going to see the land use and transport. That is, we have seen these measures to meet the urban traffic problems in India. That is in the last class. That is, you can see here. The first one is the land use and transport. Okay, that is the first measure you should provide is land use and transport. So you can see here, land use and transport is the city planning is the first control to meet the traffic demand. So today we are going to see how this land use and transport will be affecting this urban traffic problem. Okay, urban traffic problem, how it will be affecting the traffic problems in India. And I told public transport also. So promotion of public transport also, which is will be a remedial measure or measures to reduce this urban traffic problem. That one also we are going to see, that is integration of other public transports. So first we will move to land use and transport. So as the name itself indicates, land use means it is a piece of land. So land use means a piece of land. Okay, piece of land which is used for various purpose, whether a land which is used for residential, a land which is used for commercial purpose, a land which is used for industrial purpose. So there are 6 types of land uses are there. So institutional purpose, educational purpose, residential, commercial, then road purpose, and another one is parking purpose. So these are the various types of land uses, and how this land use will be correlated with the transport. So the movement of goods and people in a city are referred as traffic flow. As we all know that traffic flow means the movement of goods and people. We have already known in the first class only. That is the movement of goods and people is referred as traffic flow, is the joint consequence of land activity. So based on the traffic flow, the land activity is going to take place, whether it may be a residential, commercial, or industrial, institutional, or recreational land use. So and capability of transport. Based on the land activity, you are going to provide the transport. So based on the land activity, you are going to provide the transport. So these land use and transport are interrelated. Okay, for example, if you consider a what I can say, residential, if you consider a residential land use, what type of transport you are going to provide for a residential land use? Is it railways is possible to provide? Is railways can be provided for this residential area? What type of transport we can provide? We can provide that is bus transport we can provide, or cabs we can provide. Other than this, we can't provide this railways and airways transport. So based on the land activity, the transport is going to provide. Whether if it is a industrial land activity, that is if it is a industrial land use, so many industries will be setting in a land means there you can provide this railways. Okay, it will be helpful rather than providing bus and all those things. If we provide a railways means it will be helpful. Then the land use and transport follows the principle of demand and supply. Okay, you always remember, this is the concept we already known, and this is the simple concept, demand and supply. For example, so if we see, wait a minute, someone is waiting in the lobby. Okay, that is this land use and transport are demand and supply concept. So for example, a piece of land is available. So the transport demand is more. Here demand is more, but the supply is less, means the transport demand supply is less, means which will create problems in that area. So you should follow demand and supply concept. So whenever the demand is more, means you are going to supply more transport. Whenever the demand is less, means you have to provide less transport. For example, if you consider BMTC buses, for not BMTC, if you consider metro, in Bangalore metro, whenever sorry, for example, if you consider metro in Bangalore, you can observe during morning time the train will run at every 8 minutes. Okay, that is where the demand is more, the supply will also be more. That is during morning time the metro will run for every 8 minutes or 6 minutes. In the afternoon it will run for 10 or 12 minutes. That is one train will run for 10 to 12 minutes gap. Then in the evening also it is again it is 6 to 8 minutes. So whenever there is a demand, means the supply will be high. Whenever there is no demand, means the supply is very low. So similarly here also the land use and transport based on the land use. Here the metro is the land use. The metro station is the land use, or the residential area is the land use. And transport, metro is the transport, so which will supply the transport. So whenever the supply demand is more, the supply is going to be more. And there is a direct interaction between type and intensity of land use and transport facility provided. And I told that these two are interrelated. These two are interrelated, and there will be a interaction between this type and intensity of land use. That is, the type means residential, and intensity, if more population are present in the area and if they are more utilizing more transport, means the supply, the demand will be more and supply will be more. Land use is one of the prime determination of movement and activity. Okay, remember this is also very important. That is the piece of land is also the prime determination of movement and activity. So you can see here, you can observe if you consider residential area and recreational area, the more traffic will be there in the residential area rather than the industrial or educational or institutional area. So that is a activity, movement and activity. I told that in the residential area, the people will be moving from one place to another place. Thereby, the movement will be more. Thereby, the transport will be more. So when you compare with the educational or institutional, means the people will be moving very less, and the supply is also very less. There is the movement of people will be very less. The transport necessary or the transport needed for movement will be very less. That is a trip generation which needs streets and transport system for movement. As we all know that trip. Okay, trip generation means that is a generation of trip from origin to destination. So, for example, if you consider this is A and this is B. So this is an area we will consider. So you are going to provide the transport between A and B. So what you are going to do, you are going to utilize the land, that is the land which is used for roads. So and the transport which is provided is a bus, for example. So the trip generation means a movement of people or goods from A to B. That is through public transport or through personal transport or private transport, that we are going to call it as a trip generation. Remember, trip generation means only the movement of people from origin to destination. And land use characteristics and transportation are mutually interrelated. I told right, it will follow demand and supply, so it is mutually interrelated. So how this mutually interrelated, we will see in the later next slides. Okay, you can see here the flow chart or the what I can say, the rotation or the flow, how this land use and transport will become means the first thing is land use. If the land is available means you are going to generate the trips, that is you are going to move from origin to destination. Then whenever there is a trip means we need a transportation. Okay, whether it may be a four-wheeler, whether it may be a two-wheeler, whether it may be a public transport. So transportation is needed. Then providing transportation facility. So providing, thereby providing the to move from origin to destination, thereby providing the transport facility like buses, especially the public buses you are going to provide. And accessibility. That is whether it is accessible to your house or whether it is accessible to your area, it is not, you are going to check it. Then comes the land value. So land value means it is the value of the land, that is a piece of land where you are going to propose this transportation system. Okay, you can see here in the first photograph the rail is running, the four-wheeler is running there, and next to that there is a commercial shop. So in this photo you can see that various transport models, okay, various transport modes are interrelated with the land use. So the four-wheeler is running nearby the commercial land use, and the rail, the city rail we can call, which is running on the road itself, which is also connecting the commercial land use. So at the end we should write that land use and transport are interrelated. Okay, you should remember land use and transport are interrelated. We will see how this land use and transport are interrelated in the next slide. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? You can leave a text in the chat section, or you can unmute your voice and you can answer here. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next one is I told right. I told right. The land use and transport are interrelated. Okay, how they are interrelated, we will see here. So interdependence of land use and transport. There are four theories I have proposed. One is the Mitchell and Rapkin theory, then a Buchanan theory, then Detroit area transportation study, then Penn and Jersey. Okay, these are the four theories which will states that the land use and transport are interrelated. Okay, first in the exam they will ask this one. Okay, explain the interdependence of land use and transport means you should be able to explain this four theory. Only four statements are there. I will tell in simple manner. I have written in the simple manner also. So what Mitchell and Rapkin. Okay, Mitchell and Rapkin they have studied so many area and they came up with that urban traffic. Okay, urban traffic is a function of land use. Okay, what they have stated, urban traffic is a function of land use. So what they have stated means the urban traffic which is going to produce. Okay, for in an area, if an traffic is producing means because of this land use only. I told right, the traffic will be come into existence whenever the land use is present. That is, whenever the land use is of residential area means in that the traffic is going to generate. So what they have stated means urban traffic is a function of land use. So they have stated that urban traffic was a function of land use. So because of the land use only, the traffic is going to generate. What is the gist of this Mitchell and Rapkin theory means because of land use. If it is a residential land use or a recreational or industrial or institutional, based on the land use, the traffic is going to generate. So this is the first theory. So we can say that this is the function, that is urban traffic is a function of land use. So next one is Buchanan. Okay, Buchanan emphasized that interrelationship between traffic and buildings in a town. What he have made means here the first theory made urban traffic as a function of land use, but here he considered traffic and buildings. Here they have considered in general land use, but here he has considered the buildings. And what he states means in towns traffic takes place because of buildings, and in fact all movements in town have an origin and destination in the building. So what he stated means in towns what he stated means the buildings. Okay, for example, if you consider an area means there will be buildings like this. So what he stated means traffic takes place. Traffic means the movement of people or goods takes place because of buildings only. Because of buildings. Why? Because your origin will be building and your destination will be in the building. So you will be moving from building to building only. So your origin will be in the building and your destination will be in the building. So he stated that traffic takes place in the city or in the town because of buildings, or buildings are the buildings are the main cause for traffic movement. We can state like that also. That is because buildings within the buildings only the origin and destination. For example, you will be staying in Yelahanka and your college will be at Vidyanagar Cross. So in Yelahanka you will be staying in a building, that is your house, home, and your college will be it is also a building. So your origin is your home, which is a building, and your destination is a college. So college is also building. So what is stated that is the traffic arises in the town because of buildings only. Buildings are the main cause for traffic because origin and destination will be in the building only. Is it clear? Is it understood? This one, Buchanan theory. Is it understood? Okay, that is you should remember buildings are the main cause for traffic because origin and destination of the traffic will be in the building. So what is the difference between two theory? The Mitchell and Rapkin they have selected the land use. They have not considered the specific building. Okay, they have considered the area. In that area, the building will be there. But the Buchanan, what he stated means he has considered a building. He has considered the buildings. Buildings are the part of land use. Okay, remember, buildings are the part of land use. What he considered means the buildings he has considered, but Mitchell and Rapkin consider the land use. Okay, is it clear? So Mitchell and Rapkin consider the land use. So in the land use, the buildings will be there. So buildings are considered by the Buchanan. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? I hope I've cleared the doubt. So, what I am telling means that is Mitchell and Rapkin considered a land use as a function. Okay, that is land use as a function, but the Buchanan consider the building. Where the buildings will be present, which will be present in the land use. For example, if you consider a residential land use, in the residential land use, the buildings are going to present. Buildings will be there. So what is stated means buildings are the main cause for traffic because origin and destination will be within the building. So he has stated Bushnell. So next study what they have made means the Detroit area of transportation study. So he empirically validated transport was a function of land use. So they have empirically validated the Mitchell and Rapkin theory. Okay, empirically they have validated. Simply they have stated traffic was a function of land use, but Detroit area of transportation, they have stated that traffic or urban traffic was a function of. So they have empirically validated. That is mathematically they have validated. They have validated. That is they have mathematically validated that urban transport or urban traffic is a function of land use. Okay, that is they also conducted so many studies to get this relation. That is whether the land use is a function of traffic or not. Later on, they came to know that the urban traffic or urban transport is a function of land use. That is based on the land use only the traffic is going to run or the traffic is going to move. So this is Detroit area transportation. So remember, you may get confused with the Mitchell and Rapkin theory and Detroit. Okay, they have stated, that's all. Mitchell and Rapkin, they have stated. So urban traffic was a function of land use, but Detroit area, they have demonstrated. So they have made some demonstrations and empirically validated. So mathematically they have validated that transport was a function of land use. So we hear the transport and traffic both are same. So don't get confused. So transport or traffic both are same. Don't get confused. Okay. Next, next one more theory is there. Penn and Jersey. What they have treated, what they have tested a reciprocal proposition that land use was a function of transportation. So there, see, till now, till Detroit area, we were assuming that urban traffic was a function of land use, but Penn and Jersey stated that land use was a function of traffic, or land use was a function of urban transportation. That is, land use was a function of urban traffic. So reciprocal preposition is also holds good. So the traffic, based on the traffic, the land use is going to develop. So if more vehicles are running in the area, means it automatically says that it is of residential land use or commercial land use. Okay, remember Penn and Jersey, what they have made, they have reciprocal. They have tested that reciprocal of Mitchell and Rapkin theory. So they have not stated the new thing. They have stated that reciprocal of Mitchell and Rapkin theory is also holds good. That is, land use was a function of traffic. Okay. So first one is urban traffic is a function of land use. Second one is buildings are the main cause for traffic because origin and destination will be in the building. This was stated by Bushnell. The third one is they demonstrated and empirically validated that urban traffic is a function of land use. Then the last one is Penn and Jersey. What they have did means the reciprocal of the Mitchell and Rapkin theory. That is, the land use is a function of traffic, urban traffic. They have demonstrated this one. They have tested the reciprocal of Mitchell and Rapkin theory. Is it clear? Is it clear? Others? Any doubts in this, you can ask me. So this is the simple concept you should know. Okay, whenever in your daily life also you can see this, the Bushnell theory especially. I told that I given a good example. That is your home will be there, which is a building. Your college will be there, which is a building. So the origin will be your home and destination will be your college, which is the origin and destination will be in the buildings only. If you are moving other away from the building, there is for example, if you are going for recreational, there you are not going to the destination will not be the building, but there it will be a park. For example, it is a park, but the final destination, okay, final destination will be the house only, right? So origin and destination will be in the building, which is stated by Bushnell. And the Detroit area, they have demonstrated and empirically validated, that is mathematically validated, that transport was a function of land use. Penn and Jersey, the reciprocal proposition that land use was a function of transportation. So they have validated that the reciprocal also. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll proceed for the next one. I think now you are get to know that what is this land use and transport, how these two are interrelated. Okay, how these two are interrelated. Next, we will move for very important thing, that is a system approach to transport planning. Okay, this is the flow chart. You mark it anywhere. This is very important from the examination point of view. They will ask this compulsory question. Okay, for 8 marks they are going to ask. Okay, I'm going to say what to write for 8 marks. So for writing the flow chart, you will get 6 marks. For writing explanation, you will get 2 marks. Okay, this will be asked for 8 marks, or sometimes it may ask for 10 marks also. So the flow chart writing carries maximum marks, and minimum marks you will get for explanation. What to explain means simply explaining the flow chart. Okay, now we will see what is this system approach to transport planning. For example, we will consider an area. We will consider two area where the population is 10K and where the population is 30K. Now tell me, 30K means it is 30,000. Now tell me, to which area you are going to propose the transport planning at the first stage. For which area you are going to propose? Either the area with the population 10,000 or the area with population 30,000. For which area you are going to propose? There are no roads are there. No roads, no traffic planning is done. Only the people are constructing their house and they are living in the area with 30,000 population. Now tell me, for which area you are going to provide a transport planning? Kindly answer.
30K.
So we are going to provide the transport planning for 30K. Why? Because based on population, based on the population and type of land use, based on the population and type of land use, we are going to provide the transport planning. So the first stage is a decision to adopt planning. Okay, the first and foremost stage is a decision to adopt planning. That is, you are going to decide the traffic planning or transport planning based on population and land use. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, next is a problem definition, formulation of goals. Okay, now we have selected the portion B, that is the area B we have selected. So we have made a decision to provide a transport planning for road B, area B. Now we'll erase this area here. Now problem definition and formulation of goals. Whenever you are doing any project, for example, if you are doing any mini project or major project, first you are going to do the problem definition. So you are going to define what are the problems which are facing by this area B. So for example, no roads are provided, no roads are there. So this will be the problem for this area B. Then no traffic planning is done. So this will be the problem in the area B. So these are the problems you are going to define in briefly. So problem definition. What are the problems the people who are staying in B are facing? You are going to formulate. Then formulation of goals. Whenever the problem is defined means as soon as the problem is defined means you are going to set the goal. So you are going to set the goal in such a way that it should meet the setting the goal
It should meet the problem definition. For example, no roads. I told no roads are there in the area means setting the goal. That is providing roads. Okay, providing roads. So that will be the goal. That will be our first goal. So, our providing transport planning, there is no traffic planning is not done means planning of traffic is done. So that will be the goal for the given problem. So in the second step, we are going to see the problem definition, formulation of goals. While analyzing this, the next thing is solution generation. What are the solution we can get? So we have set the goals, we have defined the problem. Now we are going to generate the solution. Okay, the solutions, that is for providing roads, what we can do. For providing roads, what we can do, those things comes under this solution generation. Then for traffic planning, what we can do for traffic planning, whether installation of signals, signs, it can be done or not, we are going to check it. So while checking, we are going to see this what are the problem constraints, potential of that area, and forecasting. So problem constraint, for example, land availability will be the problem constraint. There is a land is not available for providing or constructing of the road. Potential means that is the area is economically viable. That is the area is economically stronger. Then forecasting means the forecasting is very less. That is the future traffic will be very less. So these are the things you should keep in mind before solution generation. So that is a problem constraints, for example, land availability, then potential, economically viable or not, that is economically strong or not, you are going to check it. Then forecasting, that is the future traffic is more or not, you are going to forecast it. Then after solution generation, you are going to analyze the solution. So I told right, provision of road, so that will be the formation of goal. Then construction will be the generation solution generated for construction of roads. So after road construction, what will be, what you are going to do, that is a construction, you are going to analyze whether it is feasible or not, that is whether it is economic or not, you are going to check it, that is the solution analysis. Then evaluation of possible alternative and choice. So you are going to not only getting the solution generation for only one thing, you are going to formulate 2 to 3 alternatives. Okay, alternative solution you are going to generate and you are going to analyze it. After the analysis, you are going to evaluate which solution is best for the given area. That is whether construction of road or patching of road is best or not, you are going to check it. Then implementation, whatever the possible alternative you have selected, you are going to implement that on the area. That is implementation of that in the given area. Then orientation, to whom you are going to orient. So the people who are staying in the given area. So though for those we are going to conduct orientation programs. Then performance assessment and review, that is after implementation you are going to conduct a performance assessment, whether you have done or whether the provided road is properly done or not, you are going to check it. So if the performance assessment is not up to the mark, means again you are going for solution generation. Again it will be moved to solution generation and the cycle repeats. If the solution generation is not also, if you keep on iterating for 2 to 3 times, if it is not up to the mark, means again you are going to define the problem newly and you are going to set the goals for new problems. Okay, this is the systematic approach for transport planning. That is first you are going to plan whether to provide a decision to adopt planning. Then problem definition you are going to define and you are going to set the goals for that problem. While before solution generation, you are going to see the problem constraints, potential of that area, then forecasting of traffic in that area. Then you are going to generate the solution for the problem. Then you are going to analyze the solution. Then not only you are going to generate one solution here, you are not going to generate one solution, various n number of solutions are generated, and after solution analysis, you are going to check which one is good. That is evaluation of possible alternative and choices, implementation. So you are going to implement that on the road. Then orientation, that is making the people who are using that road, that is orienting those people. Then performance assessment and review. That is, you are going to do the performance assessment and review. That is, if the performance assessment is not up to the mark, means again you are going for solution generation, and the cycle repeats. If the solution generated or performance assessment is not up to the mark, means again it will go for problem definition. Okay, is it clear? Is it understood or not, this one? Any doubts in this? Is it clear or not? Others? Jeet Rai?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear, right? Shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I told right, it is very important. That is, they were going to ask for 8 marks. So, write the flow chart and explain. Consider anyone that is providing roads or transport planning, and keep on explaining. Okay. Now, we will move to next concept called modal integration. What is this modal integration? As we all know that there are 3 modes of transport are there. One is landways, airways, and waterways. So these are the various 3 modes of transport. Again, the landways are divided into roadways and railways. These are the general thing. I think you all know that. So integrating all these various modes at a single point. So integrating all the various modes at a single point, that we are going to call it as a integrated transport system. So as we all know that there are 3 modes are there. That is land, airways, and waterways. Integrating all the 3 in a single point, which are interconnected. Those things we are going to call it as a modal integration. So modal integration or integrated transport system can be defined as a integration of some of or all the different public transport module in the public transport module, so into the public transport system. So various public transport system which is integrated to a single public transport system. So there is a various public transport module into a integrated to a public transport system. So those should be coordinated with the public transport system, which should be effective, efficient, and affordable service. So simply remember, modal integration means integration of various types of mode of transport into a single public transport system, which should be effective, efficient, and affordable service. Okay. Now, what are the requirements for this modal integration? So, an integrated network, integrated schedules, proper transfer facility, a common ticketing and fare system. So, this is if Pune Metro. We can see here all the various modes of transport systems are integrated to the Pune Metro. So the rickshaw is integrated with the Pune Metro, city bus is integrated. Similarly, in Bangalore, have you observed Majestic? Have you been to Majestic? Anybody? In the Majestic, you can see. Have you observed? Yes, in Majestic, you can see the railways, metro, KSRTC, BMTC, these 3 are integrated. So integration of these various transports into a single unit, that we are going to call it as modal integration. So for achieving this modal integration, we require an integrated network. That is, the proper integrated network should be there. Integrated schedule, that is the timings, proper transfer facility, that is moving from one mode of transport to another mode of transport, and common ticketing and fare system. So in I think 2018 or 17, there was a common ticketing system between metro and BMTC, and now it is implemented with KSRTC also. So this is the very important, that is common ticketing and fare system. And one more example is Kochi, that is in Kerala. There also the integrated multimodal system is there. So integration of all the various modes at a single point. For example, the best example is Majestic in Bangalore. You remember Majestic in Bangalore. So which is a good example of modal integration. Then requirements of modal integration. So higher priority to public transport with sufficient facilities and services. So the public transport should be of higher priority with sufficient. All the facilities should be provided. So for parking, parking also you should have proper facilities and service, and main focus on the movement of people and not on the mode and integration of transport and landing. So it should focus mainly on the people. So it should focus mainly on the people, not on the various modes and integration of transport. And cooperation among the support at different government levels and various modes. That is the government, that is for example government of Karnataka, and metro, that is BMRCL, for example. Then Southwestern Railway, if they have coordinated with each other, means we can easily provide this modal integration. Then availability of funds, where you are going to availability of funds from the government of Karnataka. So the availability of funds through public-private partnership. That is the public-private partnership means the involvement of government and involvement of private. So which will be creating the modal integration. Then formalization and regulation of public transport. That is forming the schedule and regulating that schedule in the public transport, which will create the modal integration. Then proper public transport planning and vision. That is, if you are planning the transport very properly, and if you have a vision, that is vision means for longer duration, the longer duration goal should be there, so that we can achieve this modal integration. And you can see this diagram. So the multi-mode transport hub, so the state transport is available, then cycles, then e-rickshaw, walkaway, then entertainment hub is there, city taxi, that is taxis are available, BRT and metro. This is the best example for Majestic. In the Majestic, all the things are fulfilled. So, for example, state transport, that is KSRTC is available. Then cycles, that is cycles, rather than cycles, we can go for two-wheelers, that is bounce bikes are available. Then auto rickshaws are available in metro, that is in Majestic. Walkaway, that is the passenger, not pedestrian walkaways are there. Then entertainment hub, that is for example the KG Road, which is next to the Majestic, which is an entertainment hub. Then taxi, Ola, Uber are available in Majestic. Then BRT, that is BMTC is available. BMTC is available near to the metro. Then metro, which is there, Namma metro is available. So the multimodal transport hub or the modal integration should have all these components within it. So that is, the metro rail should be there, state transport, cycles, e-rickshaw. These are the various modes of transport. So integrating of various modes of transport into a single unit, that we can call it as a modal integration. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Others kindly answer. You can unmute yourself and you can text in the chat section, or you can unmute yourself and you can answer. Okay. Next one is a very important thing, that is integrated planning of town, country, and regional urban infrastructure. So all we know that the urban infrastructure, which involves the roads, providing skywalks for pedestrians, especially in urban area, then parking facilities, everything should be provided. So before going to the urban infrastructure, the town, country, and regional region where you can provide this planning, urban infrastructure planning. Okay, now towns and cities planning is a sense that deals with the study of urban country that we are going to call it as system. So the urban area we are going to call it as system. So which will be covering interacting activities, adapted space through communication through channels. So if you consider an urban area means in that urban area there will be more number of activities will be there, whether it may be a residential activity, whether it may be commercial, industrial, institutional. So all these activities will comes under this system. Okay, and transport planning is an important part of overall town and country planning. Okay, so remember the transport planning is very important part of overall town and country planning, since it deals with the transport network, which is an important channel for communication. I told right, the various communications will be there. That is whether it may be a residential, commercial, institutional, educational, recreational. So to connect all the various channels means we require this transport unit. Okay, we require this transport unit. So that transport planning, that planning of the transport, we are going to call it as transport planning. Though motor vehicles have revolutionized our life, brought comfort, pleasure, convenience, they have made proud of us. There is comfort, pleasure, and convenience, but they are creating problems of congestion, lack of safety, and degeneration of the environment. But the vehicles will be creating comfort and convenient to us, but they will create problems to the environment. That is, they will create problems to the pedestrians, or they will create problems to the road users. That is congestion, lack of safety, and degeneration. So to understand the nature of this problem and formulate proposal for a safe and efficient movement, so we require this very important in the first class only I told, safe and efficient movement of goods and traffic will be provided. So urban infrastructure is invariably linked with the productivity of urban economy, then macroeconomic development. So urban infrastructure is productivity of urban economy. That is the economy means the cost which is going to get from the urban area. So that is urban economy. Then macroeconomic development. So the macroeconomic development means huge money development. There is huge economic development in the urban infrastructure. Then integrated urban infrastructure and service development planning is a tool. It is a tool. That is the integrated planning. It is a tool to complement the present sectorial infrastructure planning. So in the present, how the transport planning is done, how the urban infrastructure planning is done, you are going to check it, and mainly in reducing the apparent fragmentation of infrastructure and service provision. So you are going to check the existing infrastructure planning, and you are going to propose the new infrastructure planning, which is of economic in nature. Next one is according to National Urban Development Policy. So Council of Ministers, they have held a meeting in 2005. Urban infrastructure delivery should be integrated and developed as one of the components of city development. So initially, before 2005, it was there that the transport planning is different and city planning is different. Now, after 2005, what they have made means they have combined this transport planning and city planning, and they are now they will be going hand on hand. That is, whenever the city planning is there for a city means there should be a traffic or transport planning also. In addition, the policy indicates that the participation and integration of activities of various sectors. Not only the government is going to take place, but the local authorities like municipal authorities, government development agencies, and private sector is also going to takes place in this planning, integrated planning. So in the integrated planning, not only the government is held responsible, the municipal authorities, government development agencies, and private sector is also having the part in the integrated planning. And in general, delivery and development of urban infrastructure should be aimed at bringing balanced urban development through prioritization. I told right, based on the priority, you are going to develop the city or you are going to develop the urban area. That is a phase by phase development by taking into consideration of urban hierarchy and feasibility of urban infrastructure development. So, how we are going to consider this integrated planning or planning of the urban city means based on the priority. So, for example, if you consider Rajaji Nagar and Vijayanagar, so the priority first is given to Rajaji Nagar. Why? Because it is of industrial area and residential area. It is combination of industrial and area residential. So you are going to provide a priority. Why? Because the traffic will be more there in that urban area. But if you consider Vijayanagar as a second part, so there the industries are very less, but the residential area, the residences are more in Vijayanagar. So you are going to consider it as second. Then phase by phase, that is industrial area will be considered first phase, then residential area will be considered the second phase, and then comes the commercial and all those things. At the end, you should get a feasible urban infrastructure. You should get feasible urban infrastructure, which is of economic in nature. Okay, which is of economic in nature. Okay, this is about the integrated planning of town, country, city, regional and urban infrastructure. Okay, this completes the first module. So I think we have successfully completed the first module without any problems. So we'll solve some problems in the next class, that is on Wednesday. So do you have any queries in this or any questions in this first module? Any questions? Any questions? Can you respond? Is there any questions or any queries? You can ask. No. Okay, that is on Wednesday, that is on 12th. We are going to solve some problems. So the problems I'm going to solve using this whiteboard. So I will be displaying the questions in the PPT. So, and I will be solving the problems on the whiteboard. So everyone should have the notebook with you for solving the problem with calci and other accessories, so that it will be easy for us to solve the problem. Okay. I hope we have successfully completed this first module. So, is it clear, right? The first module, is anything should be modified or anything should be? I hope you people have understood the first module. I have shared this first module PPT in the MS Team group, that is in the class material tab. You can go through that and you can read it. Okay. Any doubts? Okay. Okay. I will stop sharing this.